my team selection for double game week 37. Let's get into it. Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. My name's FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at my team selection for double game week 37, the penultimate game week of the season. And we will quickly look back at my game week 36 team first. So in goal, I had David Raya. Came off the bench for me. I did start Kepa with a clean sheet and 4 saves. So he ended up getting 7 points. So really happy with that and happy he did come off the bench as Chelsea did concede 2 goals against Forest. For defence, Botman with a double game week, disappointing, no clean sheet, ended up on 3 points. Estupinan, unbelievable, a goal, an assist and a clean sheet and all 3 bonus against Arsenal, and then conceded 4 against Newcastle, so ended up with 0, so total 17 points, over the moon with him there. Trippier finally got his attacking return. He actually got 2 and 2 bonus against Brighton, and he got 1 point against Leeds, so that's a total of 11 points. Pretty happy with him there, even though he is highly owned, but it's just nice to get some Trippier returns. Trent off the bench for Marcus Rashford with a goal, clean sheet and 1 bonus. And what a goal it was, absolute screamer, free kick. A little bit annoying that Salah got 3 assists as I don't have Salah, but yeah, more than happy with the Trent points. Jackie Grealish, bit of a sticky one this one. So he didn't start, but he came on with 12 minutes to go. If he would have stayed on the bench, Luke Shaw would have come on for 8 points. So was a little bit annoyed watching that and seeing Grealish come on, especially as he didn't come on for the Leeds game. So I was hoping he was going to stay on the bench again, but no, he did block the 8 points from Shaw. So that's 7 points lost by Pep bringing on Jack Grealish for the last 12 minutes. Bruno Fernandes did get an assist and clean sheet, ended up on 6 points. Yeah, not bad for a single game week, I guess. I'm just hoping he delivers in the next game week. McAllister, disappointment. He did get the 3 points against Arsenal as they kept a clean sheet, but he didn't start and he got booked against Newcastle, so ended up on 0 with a total of 3 points. Matoma has been a massive disappointment, to be honest, since I've had him. He hasn't really done the business. They started both games and a blank in both games, ended up on 5 points. Really needed the Brighton players to perform for my mini league, and they haven't done so. So disappointed in the Brighton boys. Haaland with a goal and bonus, again, doesn't really make a difference as everyone has Haaland. And Isaac, huge disappointment. I'm sure, I guess, he got an assist, but with people that did have Watkins, did have Wilson, ended up on a literally like a ridiculous haul, ended up with 24 points. If you captain him, which are likely to captain him, that's 48 points, whereas I got 14 from Isaac. It was hurtful, and I think if I didn't get the early team news a couple of weeks ago that Grealish wasn't starting, then I wouldn't have brought in Isaac so early, and I would have had a 50-50 kind of choice, Isaac or Wilson, and I could have gone Wilson. But it's just if buts and maybes. If my auntie had, you know what, she would be my uncle. So probably can't really be thinking like that. And yeah, just got to move on to the next game week. Did end up with 87 points, a red arrow. So I went from 176k to 219k. Yeah, really disappointed. I'm just hoping I need to win my mini leagues. I'm 3rd in the mini league at the moment, with my kind of group of friends. Behind 2nd, I'm 6 points, and behind 1st, I'm 11 points. So hopefully, game week 37 is a good one, and I can climb that mini league and win it. But let's get into the team selection. So we'll move on to my team selection for double game week 37. We'll start off with the goalkeeper and defence. So I have decided to play Kepa. He did get dropped last game where Chelsea played Forest, but Mendy wasn't really too convincing. He was at error for one of the goals. And I feel like Lampard's just kind of putting him out there in order for them to sell him at the end of the season, Mendy that is. I feel like Kepa will likely to be the backup goalkeeper, because they are likely to bring in another goalkeeper. I have thought about bringing in Ederson, but for me, I feel like he'll only play 1 game. where an Ortega can come in replacement for him. So for me, I don't know if it's worth that transfer. I'd rather had 2 transfers in game week 38 where I can make kind of attacking mood with move with high upside and the chance to kind of gain some rank and gain some momentum with a few differentials in the last game week. By using that transfer on Ederson, I'm not guaranteed 2 starts. City defensively haven't been great, and Ederson could be dropped for one of them. If Kepa doesn't play, I'm sure he will play one anyway. But if he doesn't play, Raya is there to step in with Spurs away, which again is not the easiest fixture, but we know how to save points for both of them, for Kepa and for Raya, can be great and can kind of get them bonus too. So with the defence, we've got 2 double game week players. Luke Shaw will start off with Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home. So he did get the 8-pointer last week on my bench, which was disappointing. I could have done with these points, to be honest, as I did get a red arrow. But I'm hopeful for a really big score from Shaw this week. A good double game week, Bournemouth away. I know Man United have been terrible away from home this season, but Bournemouth away is not a bad fixture, and they kind of need to win to secure that top 4 spot. Chelsea at home is another great fixture. Man United are a different beast at home. They've been playing really, really well at home. Well, not playing really well, but getting the results at least at home. And they've been very solid defensively. I'm kind of a little bit jealous of people with double United defense, but that I think double midfield is probably that slight better and more chance of getting higher points. But I don't hate the De Gea goalkeeper option and Shaw, to be honest. Now also Varane is back. Okay, he might not only play 1 because it's a bit too much for him. 2 games, 3 games in a week, but even Shaw centre back, it's not that bad, as his passes does rack up his bonus points, and he could play left back anyway. So you know how good he can be getting forward and from that left back spot. We'll go with Estupiñán next. So 2 home games, bottom of the league and top of the league. So you could say 50-50. Really, you're hoping for Brighton to smash Southampton, clean sheet. Hopefully, Estupiñán can get a mega haul again, like he did last time out. And you know how attacking he can be. One thing to take into consideration is, although he hasn't been rested so far kind of this season, everyone else has kind of been rotated. Even the goalkeeper got rotated still at one stage. Estupiñán hasn't been. Having said that, there's not really anyone that can come in for him in terms of left back spot. They could move people around, but I think he's got that nailed, and I think he'll start both. I'm hoping for Southampton game to be an absolute thrashing, definitely clean sheet, and I'm hoping City have already won the league and I do rest some players against Brighton away from home, and yeah, Brighton can pull off a result. Next up, we've got Alexander-Arnold, who's done unbelievably well since I've got him in. So I think since I've got him in, he's got 9, 5, 5, 4, 7, 7, 13. Unbelievable, really, really great. If he doesn't get an assist, he gets a clean sheet. If he doesn't get a clean sheet, he gets an assist or a goal. And then the other week, this week, he did get both. Villa at home won't be an easy game. But I fancy Liverpool defensively at home, and you know Trent. He's literally playing in midfield. He can get them attacking returns. You're not just relying on that clean sheet, and yeah, I fancy Trent to do well this week. We'll move on to the midfield. So we do have 5 double game week players for the midfield. We'll start off with Jack Grealish, Chelsea at home, Brighton away. Not the easiest on paper, but City are going to be gunning for that win against Chelsea, and you know how strong they are at home, having just thrashed Real Madrid 4-0. Jack Grealish, though, hasn't started the last 2 Premier League games. I am expecting him to start this game and be benched against Brighton. It could be the other way around, but I'm pretty confident he will start one game. Obviously, there is a chance to move him out, but I just don't know who for. I've got 1.7 or 8 million, I can't remember. 1.7 million in the bank, so that I don't think that would get me anyone interesting, especially not anyone with a double game week, because I'd be bringing him out for probably Mahrez or Foden or Gundogan, and for me, I just think they'll get 1 start as well. I'm hoping Grealish does get both, but I'm not yeah, I'm not counting my chickens. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford both have a double game week, which is great. Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home. Rashford was seen back in training, so I'm hoping he'll be fine for both games. And Man United do need him to secure that top four. Whether he'll get a rest in game week 38, because they have the FA Cup game against Man City, the final. That's another conversation for next week. But I do feel like he will play both games if he is fit. Bruno Fernandes, definite starter, definitely plays both games, and I am really hopeful that he will get a mega haul at some point. His expected goal involvements was over 1 against Wolves, 0.5 against West Ham, 0.54 against Brighton, 0.49 against Villa, and 1.2 against Spurs. It's literally so on, so on. So he is doing really, really well in terms of the stats, and he's on penalties. And yeah, I just really need a haul from him. He hasn't delivered, to be honest. He's done okay, but he hasn't delivered since I've had him. So 5 against Spurs, 11 against Villa, not bad. 2 against Brighton, 2 against West Ham, and 6 against Wolves. Ideally for this game week, I need a 15-point overall from Fernandes. So hopefully that's a goal in one game, an assist in the other. I need 2 attacking returns minimum from him. The Brighton boys, so McAllister and Matoma, both was disappointing last game week. McAllister's only got 1 assist since game week 30, so and they've had loads of double game weeks, so it's not just like it's 6 games. They've had quite a few games in that run. So they've had 8 games in that run, and he's got 1 assist, so pretty disappointing. But again, you can't really complain for that price, but I am going to be complaining. His XGI, expected goal involvement, has dropped, so 0.05 against Newcastle, 0.13 against Arsenal. So not looking great. I know they are both tough away games. Hopefully these next 2 home games he can do something in. Especially that Southampton game. I just think it could be another 6-0 for Brighton. They're down, they're relegated, and Brighton do need the win to secure European football. McAllister, disappointing he didn't start against Newcastle, but hopefully that means he's fresh and firing for Southampton. And yeah, fingers crossed he gets 3 penalties and he gets another jammy goal on the line off his head. But yeah, really need the Brighton boys to step up. I know they're cheap, but we've held them for so long, and I just need them to deliver a little bit more than they are. I'm not expecting a hat trick or 2 goals or anything like that. I just need a goal really out of these 2 games from both of them to be happy. And yeah, we'll move on to our forwards, but before that, we'll have a quick look on the bench. So David Raya, again, like I mentioned, is on the bench. Trippier was another player that could have been brought in instead of. To be honest, instead of Trent, I wouldn't know. Leicester at home is a good fixture. Trippier is attacking, but Trent's just next level. You could argue Trippier instead of Grealish if Grealish is only going to start 1, but I always go for the attacking player. And Trippier is flagged, so that is something to bear in mind. Definitely listen to Eddie Howe's press conferences if you do have Trippier in your team. Botman, never going to start. If Trippier is not starting, Botman definitely isn't. And Ollie Watkins with Liverpool away, I've already mentioned Liverpool's great home record and how strong they can be defensively at home. So he was never getting in the team. Anyway, let's get on to the forwards. So we'll start off with Erling Haaland. So a double game week of Chelsea at home and Brighton away. Pretty much the same as Grealish. I'd say he'd probably start 1. I know he's chasing that Dixie Dean record of, I think it's 60 or 61 goals in a season. He's currently on 52. So he is 8 or so away from breaking it and equaling it. He can definitely do that in 3 games, but he'll probably need to start all 3 games. I think it's just over kind of Haaland's reach at this moment. Maybe next season, who knows? Anyway, yeah, I think he will start 1 game at least. That Chelsea at home game, I think they just want to secure the title early, then they can rest up some players, rotate the squad. I know Pep has talked about keeping that momentum going quite a lot. kind of before, I read somewhere before the Champions League final in against Chelsea, they played a couple of seasons ago. He played, this league was won ages before the end of the season. And he kept playing his strongest team to kind of get that rhythm. So who knows, they might do that. And they have the FA Cup final before the Champions League final anyway. So there's always chance they're going to get that rhythm in that final. And there is a decent amount of break between the fixtures. So you've got, I'm trying to work out the timings for UK time, but on Sunday they're playing at 4 p.m. UK time, then on Wednesday at 8 p.m. UK time, then on Sunday at 4:30 UK time. So there is a decent gap between the fixtures. But I just can't see Haaland playing all three. I think he'll play Chelsea at home, and I think he'll play Brentford away in Gameweek 38. I still put the captain on him because he could come on against Brighton and do the business. We know he doesn't need that long. He hasn't been rested at all this season. So the only time he's been out is with an injury. So they could play all three, and that's why I've got the captain armband on him, just in case he does play both games in a double game week. Even with one game, I think he can outperform Rashford or Fernandes, who are the other kind of vice captain options. Isaac is next up front, so Leicester at home. Leicester really need to win. Newcastle need a result. I think they need one more win to secure top four. And they'll be looking to do that at home rather than have to go to Stamford Bridge and get a result. Isaac hasn't been performing recently. He's been looking so threatening, but Wilson's just been getting the goals, getting the penalties. Really, really annoying. I'm just hoping Isaac can claw back a bit of that difference over not going Wilson, and do it in this game week. That is it for the video. That is my team selection. Let me know below what your transfers are, who you're captaining, and who you're going to be benching. And if you have liked this video, please subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. Hoping to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the season. So tell your mates about this channel. Send it to your family and friends, and get them to subscribe too. And smash the video, give the video a like on the way out too. And good luck for the game week. Cheers.